Hello, sports ballers, and welcome to your one-stop shop for all things Tennessee pro sports. This is Sportsballin. I'm Dylan Simmons, joined alongside Connor Smith, and making his series debut, Devin Lockhart, filling in for Evan Snyder. Gentlemen, are we ready for some sports ball?
We are. I'm excited to be here. First ever episode. Happy to be with you guys.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate that Evan couldn't be here, but we get the young buck in here today. It's his first episode.
I love it. You know, you guys are hungry. You look like you're ready to eat tonight. So I say we get right into the fun. Let's start off with some NASCAR, guys. Sin City gave us a race to remember on Sunday with more twists and turns than Game of Thrones. Several title contenders such as Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott were involved in incidents which also contributed to putting them in a hole the rest of the way. Christopher Bell was the unquestioned dominant driver of the race with 155 laps led, but a gutsy fuel mileage call from Penske Racing propelled Joey Logano to win his way into the championship four. Devin, I'll start with you. How legit of a threat is Logano to win his third title?
I think he's a threat to not go away, but with regards to the gutsy fuel call, later, are they willing to pull that again? As well as, was it more on the conservative rather than gutsy side? As well as, I did want to bring in Chase Elliott. Yes, he's not in it anymore, but he was someone who was always a dark horse, and he was always, I'm still in it, and I think that's where Logano comes into play. But fans, I don't know if they're too happy about Logano because he did get in based off a fluke, basically, we can say.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting, but I do think Logano does have a serious chance, and Penske is one of probably the boldest teams out there.
You know, you mentioned about the fluke with Logano, but I mean, hey, hate the player, not the game.
Yeah.
Or sorry, hate the game, not the player.
The player, yeah.
Yep, my bad. You know, I don't know. It's very wide open, as Evan stated a few weeks ago. I could see Logano winning. I could also see Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, all those guys having a shot. I do want to say I thought it was really funny that the first time we did an episode, the winner was ahead legit the entire time, and the last two times Logano won by 0.6 seconds, and then I believe it was Kyle Larson 2 weeks ago won by like a third of a second.
Yeah.
So.
It's crazy how close these finishes are getting this year. This was another wild race. Also saw a flip. Tyler Reddick went upside down at Las Vegas of all tracks. I mean, things are just getting crazy this year. Props to Joey Logano. I'm not the biggest Joey Logano fan. I think he sometimes does things that are not entirely necessary, but I got to give props to him and his crew chief, Paul Wolf. That was a gutsy call. They get themselves into the championship four. Not sure they should be in that position to begin with because NASCAR decided to disqualify Alex Bowman in the round of 12, but, you know, whatever the case may be. By the way, that also ties Logano with Jimmy Johnson for the most wins all time at Las Vegas before. Really? So he's pretty darn good at Las Vegas. That was a bad race for Reddick. That wreck is going to put him in a huge hole, as well as Chase Elliott. You mentioned him, Devin. He was also involved in that crash, finished at 33rd in that race, and the defending champion, Ryan Blaney, as well, finishing 32nd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems right now.
The thing that you brought up, Connor, Kyle Larson, he's an aggressive driver. So the way what we saw from the wreck this past Sunday, I wonder if that's going to play into how Logano drives and how Reddick will drive as well.
I think it kind of has to at the end of the day because when you're in this point in the season, you got to be a bit more aggressive. And when you're fighting for those extra bonus points, it means everything. So it's going to be fun to watch, guys. The Bluff City is buzzing as well because it is just about time for a new season of Grizzlies basketball. Memphis is looking for some revenge in the Western Conference after a disastrous campaign a year ago. They're hoping that Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and company can take this team to the promised land of the playoffs. Got to say it, but is Memphis fine in the West this year, Devin?
I think they will be better off than last year.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say fine because you do have some contenders, but they weren't able to pick up enough pieces in the offseason. And then you have the drama of Ja Morant. That's a whole nother book to go into. And I think that also holds them back.
I mean, is it drama? Yes, but big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Ja Morant is one of those big-time
special
players.
team, special play, special players.
Yeah. You
That's
know,
right.
like he's one of those guys. Like it's not a coincidence that they won 50 games back-to-back seasons in 22 and 23.
Right.
When Ja was there, and when he was there for the first 9 games or whatever it was after his suspension, they were good. I mean, and you have guys like Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., G.T. Jackson, and they brought in the 7'4" guy Zach Edey. I think he can cause a lot of problems for people down low. So I've got to make them the playoffs. I don't think they'll necessarily win 50 games, but I mean, like I said, it's not a coincidence that they won 50 games with Ja Morant in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at how they were last year with Ja, 6-3 overall, so they're not a bad team with Ja Morant in the lineup. In that very brief time, he really did elevate this team to a new level. But they've got to find a way to get a lot of other pieces involved. You can't just have Ja carrying the team all the way through. You got to get other players to go along for the ride. And you're talking about a team that was 27-55 a year ago. They were 9-32 at home. At home, you didn't even win double-digit games at home. Not to mention they had statistically the worst offense in the NBA, 105.8 points per game. Guys, is that good? It is not good. It's terrible.
No.
So needless to say, there's a lot of issues to resolve. I think that you're going to have to see Ja, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart, even Zach Edey, like you talked about, Connor, emerge this season and push this team to the next level.
Yeah, I think Ja needs to definitely stay in more because if he does, it will be double trouble with him and Zach Edey.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ja, he's a big personality. You got Edey, who's a big personality. He brings on a lot of critics. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not. He's just a good player and gets hate because of it. But if they can control those egos and those attitudes, I really think they can be a successful team, and that's why I think there's going to be playoff basketball in Memphis this year.
Hey, only one way to know for sure. You got to play the games on the court.
Absolutely.
We'll see if it's really a parade inside the city for Memphis this upcoming year. When we come back, the Titans will get another visit to the Lost Claims Department and what's going on with the Predators. All that and more on the other side of this break.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back. What is going on with the Tennessee Titans? It was a Buffalo stampede on Tennessee yesterday as they got bull rushed by the Bills. Josh Allen and the Buffalo offense had a field day in the second half with 27 points, and the Titans offense channeled Jim Mora by managing diddly-poo offensively. Connor, how bad are things this year for Tennessee?
I think they're worse than last year, and that's pretty hard to do, honestly. Will Levis has regressed, and even without him, and how bad Mason Rudolph was, I think maybe Mason Rudolph might be the better option, just being honest. I will say, in their defense, it was the JV Titans on Sunday. Didn't have Traylon Burks, didn't have Tajay Spears, Will Levis, L'Jarius Sneed, but regardless, you went up 10-0 late in the second quarter, albeit, and then you gave up a 27-0 run.
Inexcusable. Horrible.
What was that? And it's going to get even worse because you need a quarterback and an offensive line. Between Rudolph and Will Levis, they've been sacked 19 times combined for 10 interceptions, 8 touchdowns. Not very good. So, but who are you going to go to, like in the draft? Because if you don't get a high in a spot, you don't get Kelvin Banks or Will Campbell, you know, you're in trouble. And you can't draft Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders. It's just not a good quarterback draft. So you're kind of stuck with those guys for a year.
Hey, I disagree with that.
No?
Cam Ward, future Heisman Trophy winner.
No, not at all. Not at all. But from what I saw from the Titans this weekend, raised the question to me of, is it really a quarterback issue?
It's a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a main concern, but you said they got sacked 19 times combined. In O-line, that's very severe. And defense, to allow 27 unanswered points, as a person from Atlanta, I feel for that because the 28-3 Super Bowl.
Hey, man, you okay?
That was.
You okay, man?
He's still recovering.
That was
from
a tough one.
You know, guys, if nothing else, I really missed Captain Meme Will Levis this week. You know, I wanted to see one of the.
I know. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see Will Levis back in the future, but we got to move on to the Nashville Predators, who are their own disaster right now. They're what we call bad. For the first time in franchise history, the Preds are off to an 0-5 start, and the offseason champions are looking like the NHL equivalent of Florida State. Devin, what do you have to say about the 2024 Predators?
Well, there's not much to say because they're 0-5. Yes, you go out and get these big name stars. Steven Stamkos, phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Won 2 cups at Tampa Bay. With that being said, one player isn't going to change the whole game. The other thing is, UC Saros played a lot more in the preseason than he did last year. So I'm interested in, was that too much preseason play where he's already tired and he's not to the level he was at last year? But that does not take away from the embarrassment that Nashville is
Way to
bringing
describe it.
the state of Tennessee in hockey.
It's rough. I mean, they nearly made it to the second round last year. You go out, you spend a combined $108.5 million on Stamkos, Mark Salt, and Brady Skijy.
And you're still that bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an absolute train wreck right now. Hey, Preds, the only way to go is up, right? When we come back, you better get on your feet because we'll have our hot takes of the week. So don't go anywhere.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father.
crippling depression, anxiety, exhaustion.
I was in prison, and her mom had a heart attack.
There's a lot of institutional issues and challenges that suggest to us that dads aren't essential, and I've always rejected that.
Sometimes you don't have to know everything about being a dad. You just gotta be there.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, and it's that time, folks. It's our hot takes of the week. Let's get right into it. Devin, start us off.
It is getting real tight up here with this one. Both Army and Navy will finish in the top 20 this year.
Wow.
They're off to a hot
Okay.
start, 7-0 and 6-0. Really strong offenses. Yes, Navy does have that triple option, but they're using that third part of the triple option more this year than the previous years. I think they're both going to get it done, get into the top 20. Don't know how the playoffs going to work with the Army-Navy game and the American, because now they're in the same conference.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do have to say, go Navy, beat Army.
Ooh.
You know, I just cheer for America's troops personally. I think it's a good one. I mean, I really agree with it personally, just because they're, what, 20 and 23 right now?
Yep.
So if you went out theoretically, like even though one's going to lose in the American Conference Championship, as long as you don't get blown out, you're still both going to be there, and you're still going to win a bowl game regardless. So you're going to finish in the AP final top 20. So I think that's honestly a good one. Yeah, go Navy.
I really don't know about this one. Now, I appreciate where you're coming from, both of you.
You're not
but,
patriotic.
huh?
Yeah,
patriotic.
I am absolutely patriotic.
I don't know.
American.
I love Army and Navy, but here's the thing. They've got to deal with a lot of other factors outside of not only playing each other, but the rest of the teams within the CFP Top 25, and Boise State going to be also in that G5 mix as well. So you're talking about both of them finishing in the top 20. They've got to play each other. They both have to play Notre Dame, who's number 12 in the country right now. But I do think they can beat them.
Oh,
come
you
on.
mean Notre
It's
Dame?
the-
Notre Dame?
They did lose to Northern Illinois. So I mean,
exactly.
that
They
counts.
lost to
Notre
Northern
Shame. That's what I'm talking
Illinois.
Northern Shame.
They've eked out a couple wins. They're not as good as people think.
They're never as good as what people say.
Exactly.
They're always overrated. What do you mean?
That's why they're independent.
This has turned into a Notre Dame bashing party, but you should put the Notre Shame into, or the Northern, whatever it is, into a T-shirt or something. Yes. All right, Connor, what's your hot take?
I'm going to say that Ryan Day, once again, fails to meet expectations of Ohio State and is fired at the end of the year. Guys, this dude paid $20 million for his team and got beat at Oregon. I'm not saying Oregon's not a good team, but the way you lost, it was so sloppy. Like, the coaching staff lost that game along with Will Howard being the average quarterback he is. I told everyone, he's not an upgrade over Kyle McCord, and I was called idiotic. But, I mean, hey, look at this. This guy is not very good. But aside from that, he's a great coach when it comes to winning games that you should win. He's 2-7 versus top 5 teams since 2020.
Not good.
You know, and like at Ohio State, that can't happen. Like going 2-7 against top 5 teams, being 61-9 overall, winning a couple conference championships, that works at literally every school in the country, except about 10. And Ohio State's one of those teams. You don't get paid $10 million a year to win 29% of your legit big-time games and have a 3-game losing streak to the team up north. That can't happen.
I mean, this is a bit of a reach, my friend, but it's not impossible. Here's the thing with Ryan Day. He has created an incredible amount of talent over the years. You're talking Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr., Chris Olave, Jeremiah Smith, and Garrett Wilson.
And what does he have to show for it?
Exactly. All this offensive talent, and the best
0
you can
playoff
do is
wins.
get one national championship appearance. You can't even win a national title.
And in that one, granted, it was a great Bama team, but they got slaughtered by 30.
Yes.
That can't happen.
They got decimated. And again, but here's the thing. Who are they going to get outside of Ryan Day to be their head coach? Sarkisian, Smart, Lane Kiffin, none of them are coming.
Well, Sarkisian and Kirby Smart, absolutely not. I definitely could see Lane Kiffin going. I could see Dabo Sweeney going. I mean, there's a couple guys around the place, but Ohio State's similar to Alabama, where it's like whenever someone poses that question, it's like, you're Alabama. Like, you're going to get somebody.
Yeah. I would say that Oregon-Ohio State game, Dan Lanning said it last year when they played Colorado.
Yep.
Ohio State and Ryan Day were playing for clicks.
Ooh.
But I don't know if they'll fire him, because his buyout is astronomical.
Well, they got the $20 million to pay for a team. They could probably find a way to pay his buyout.
Yeah, but, I mean, are you really going to spend it on their buyout, or are you going to spend it on NIL or scholarships?
I mean, but at that point, though, if he doesn't do anything with it,
Yeah.
Well, first off, if he doesn't win a national championship this year, it's definitely getting talked about. If he loses to Michigan again,
he's done.
He's
if he
gone.
loses to Michigan.
Yeah.
He's
you
gone.
have to fire him. If he
It
loses
has
to
to be. I mean, Michigan's the deciding game.
Yep,
He's
it's
on
a
the hot
deciding
seat.
thing. Things got to change on that front. But for my hot take, guys, all 4 teams from the NFC North are going to make the playoffs this year. Now, I know this one is a bit of a reach, but there is no question to me, at least, that the NFC North, the best division in the National Football League right now. But I think we can take it one step forward. Now, the Vikings, they've been incredible this season. Wins over the Texans, 49ers, Packers, and nearly beat the Lions. It's tough for me to say, Connor, but you know what? I can't deny it. They've been really, really good this season. Sam Darnold, he's not seeing ghost anymore. He's seeing the light. 1,100 passing yards, 11 passing touchdowns. Aaron Jones, who is a Viking, is also having a pretty solid season. Although he has struggled a little bit, he still is Aaron Jones, and he's capable of explosive stuff. Lions, they're absolutely Super Bowl contenders. Just beat the Vikings, and they beat the Cowboys so bad that they're turning Jerry Jones into Drew McIntyre, making him an absolute hater, going off on innocent radio host. I mean, people like us just trying to do our job. That's a whole nother thing, but the Lions are incredible. They've scored 42, 31, and 47 points in the last 3 games. That offense, scary good. Bears, I'm not sold on them entirely, but Caleb Williams is developing. I think they could get the 7th seed, and they've also put up 36 and 35 points in their last 2 games. And of course, we cannot forget about the Green Bay Packers. Pack is back. Absolutely. Jordan Love balling out. Got to cut down on the interceptions and turnovers just a little bit, but we know this man is as talented as anybody in the league. Josh Jacobs finally scoring touchdowns. I loved seeing that on Sunday. Broke that decades-long streak, it felt like.
Yep.
And a win over the Texans, a beat down of the Cardinals, and they even beat the Titans with Malik Willis. So to me, this team's ceiling is absolutely a Super Bowl title and definitely into the playoffs. And by the way, who else in the NFC is going to get a wild card right now? Atlanta, Philadelphia, the Cowboys.
Maybe that's it, but maybe that's it.
Yeah, so to me, this is an open and shut case almost.
I would agree with you to a certain extent. I think Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay, locks. Just go ahead and put them in the playoffs. It's going to happen. The Bears, as Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. I want to say no.
Okay.
Because I don't like the Bears.
We do hate the Bears.
But they're so talented. It's just going to depend on their rookie quarterback. How does he handle the big moments when he's playing, like a San Francisco or Detroit later on,
right.
Vikings. So the top 3 teams, for sure. Bears, questionable.
Yeah. I don't think the Bears will get in.
Okay.
But I also don't think the Vikings will.
Whoa,
really?
What? Okay, this is the hot take. What? Explain real quick. Vikings 5-1 are not going to get in the playoffs.
5-1. You look at their schedule. It just starts going upwards, and then you have a new quarterback. You just have Justin Jefferson. That's really your key guy. Other than that,
Oh, man.
I mean, here and there.
No.
And Justin Jefferson's coming off that injury last year.
I know,
so
but they're 5-1.
is he
Devin.
durable enough?
Dude, all you gotta do is win 5 games and you're in the playoffs. So if you go like 5-9,
across the table.
you're in.
You know what? That was more heat than a Randy Johnson pitch, guys. When we come back, we'll have our picks of the week, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Sportsballin.
The stars come to Middle Tennessee State University, and students come here to become stars, no matter what they pursue. We're the only college of media and entertainment in the world, just outside the heart of Nashville.
Look, mic check, 1, 2, everybody listen. When you do it like this, ain't no competition. I'm talking B.I.G., VIP. Treat them like a front row seat and make them pay attention. If I shoot for the 3, then I ain't never missing. Cranking up the degrees like I was in the kitchen. Can't lose, got too much to prove. And when you do it all, it get too hard to do it.
Our curriculum and facilities are cutting edge, and our relationships with industry leaders give students an edge over the competition. Check it out. You can get real-world experience with degrees in recording industry, media arts, journalism and strategic media, and more. Media and entertainment at Middle Tennessee State University. Learn to shine.
Thousands of families affected by disasters, like the recent hurricane, urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
Welcome back to Sports Ball, and it's now time for our picks of the week. Let's start off with the Boston Bruins versus the Nashville Predators Tuesday at 7:45.
No question.
No question?
Bruins, I mean, slow start for the Predators, and
that's an understatement.
It's going to, that's for sure, yeah. But Boston, they're good.
Really good.
They're really good at hockey. And this game, it's not going to be enough for the Predators.
You know, I'm going to go the opposite way of what you said. I mean, of course, they started off 0-5, very, very slow. But I think they're going to come out there upset and take it to the Bruins. Give me Nashville.
Whoa, taking Nashville for the upset. Boston's winning this. Nashville, you better show me something and do it in a hurry. Memphis Grizzlies, Utah Jazz, Wednesday at 8.
Give me the Utah Jazz. Here's why. Because there is young talent with Edey, and it'll take them a game or two to get used to it.
I can see it. Give me Memphis. Because, like you said, a lot of young players, a lot of moving pieces that are coming together, got to gel. But I think John Morant comes back, has a legacy game, goes for like 37-5, and they pick up the W.
All right. You know, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you, Connor. I think Memphis is going to come out motivated, ready to prove some doubters wrong after last year's disaster. Grizzlies win in Salt Lake City. And finally, guys, Titans versus Lions Sunday at noon.
The battle of the average teams. But I'm going with, let's go with the Titans. Put a little mayo in my coffee.
Little mayo in your coffee. I'm taking Drake May. No O at the end. You know, I think he's the better quarterback in the game. I think it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. Give me Drake May and the Patriots in Foxborough.
Yeah, and I just realized I said Lions instead of Patriots. So that's how bad the Titans are. I can't even remember who they're playing. So they're going to lose to New England as well. New England wins this one and does it pretty easily. That's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. We've come to that time of the episode where we've got to imitate Alabama's season and come to an end. Remember that you can catch new episodes of Sportsballin' right here on Blue Raider Television. For Devin Lockhart and Connor Smith, I'm Dylan Simmons saying so long. And remember to always have an electric night.